Good morrow.
How do you do, sir?
Hello, this is the Extraordinary Rayman because my opinion is just that interesting. Today I am joined by...
Me.
And...
Him.
And today we're going to talk about the Transformers movie series.
More than meets the eye.
Or robots in disguise, either way.
Autobots are go!
Real American Robot. When Transformers was first announced, I was kind of apprehensive about the whole thing. I mean, turning a toy into a movie. I guess it's not impossible to do, especially when you consider the fact that it's about giant robots fighting each other. It's, you know, freaking awesome. And when I heard that Steven Spielberg was connected to it, and it was directed by Michael Bay, who is great at just making things blow up, I thought, why not? Then the movie came out. And this was back before I was really into, like, you know, checking critic reviews, Rotten Tomatoes, to know what a movie was like. I went there and I enjoyed myself. I like the movie. As time goes on,
Didn't you see it like 6 times?
I saw Transformers
7 times in theaters.
Yeah,
once in IMAX.
I saw the Transformers movie. No, 6 times regular than once in IMAX.
Okay. It was a lot of times.
That was the most I've ever seen any movie because I went to see it with people because it's a movie that you can enjoy with people because it's just stuff blowing up. As time went on, I enjoyed the movie slightly less because the beer goggles wore off.
You weren't drinking.
My point is, I got older. My brain got bigger. I like the movie. I like it a lot. I watched it recently, and I think it's an entertaining movie. But the problem is, I don't think it quite yet reaches dumb action movie status, because it does have a lot of, one, completely unnecessary downtime. There's a lot of junk with Sam and his parents and stuff like that.
But at the same time, like the reason that they added so much more of the robots and everything in the latter movies is budget. They didn't know how much they not only
were
just budget,
starting a new series.
They're starting a new series, but not only that, but like they physically could not. It would have been insanely expensive to have that much robots in the movie. They wanted to. They wanted to have. Michael Bay even said he wanted to have the robots be main characters, but he really couldn't, budget-wise.
But the problem with
once they succeeded, they were able to do that.
But the problem with a lot of
once they succeeded, there was no excuse for there not to be more robots.
The problem though is, with all that downtime, brought in a lot of the kind of stupid humor. I mean, a lot of the scenes seem to go on for a very long time.
And that's not to say that it's not entertaining.
No, I actually do think a lot of it's funny. Like Bernie Mac.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
I think Bernie Mac is funny in that. I love Shia LaBeouf. I don't understand why people hate Shia LaBeouf. I think he's funny.
Here's the thing. It's one of those things when you're watching it, you're entertained for 2.5 hours. Especially when you're in the movie theater, you're just
you're in your mood to watch things.
Yeah, it's just you're having fun. Once the movie's over and you realize you just spent 2.5 hours watching this movie and you got very little of what you actually came to see, experiencing what you came to see and experiencing what you're actually seeing are 2 different things, because it's all in retrospect. You get done with the movie and you're like, where were the robots?
It's not like something like Inception, that the gravity of what you just seen is so memorable and heavy.
Inception is something where the whole picture is what makes up what it is.
Yeah.
Everything that happens in that movie is creating, the whole effect of the film. With Transformers, if they took out 1 or 25 scenes of him and Megan Fox goofing around, I would have been okay with that.
I like Megan Fox as like a presentation, but I do not think she's
the bare minimal of my sexual attraction as a male to the female creature is what I feel for.
I would never want to meet this chick.
Overall, I think that movie delivered back when it first came out because we didn't know what to expect. We probably had our expectations pretty low. Is that safe to say? Or they weren't. We didn't know what to expect.
I didn't have expectations to deliver on something that was going to be of a lot of substance.
Nobody could have guessed how big this movie ended up becoming. It was huge.
It's one of the most successful film series ever.
Yeah. So, in that regard, we definitely enjoyed it when it first came out. Yeah. And even looking back,
no, absolutely.
It's still a good movie.
It's a lot of fun.
As a popcorn flick, as a piece of entertainment, purely for entertaining values, yeah, it definitely delivers. You're watching it and you're entertained for 2.5 hours, which is impressive.
But one thing about the movie I always thought was cool was the
Which movie?
Transformers.
Okay.
Quote unquote relationship that Sam had with Bumblebee, because Bumblebee is, 1, supposed to be his guardian, and 2, Bumblebee is also his first car.
But they didn't really push that much.
But they don't, which bugs me. There's lots of stuff like that which could have been really cool, but you know, they just don't do it.
They imply a great relationship throughout the entire trilogy, but they never really show the relationship.
He kind of treats Bumblebee more like somebody would treat a hamster they've had for like 5 years that won't die. It's like there's no love. It's just it's an animal, and I care for it because I couldn't see it die.
Which is what I think movies like this.
He kind of is really condescending to Bumblebee.
Which is what I don't think movies like this.
He cries over it when it's in danger because he might lose it and he won't have a car.
Which is what I don't think movies like this get, is that sometimes you can develop like having, if you're not that great at, you know, character interactions and dialogue, sometimes you can just have characters, you know, build relationships and stuff like that by just having them do things together. Just have them talk about stuff together. Try to make it relative to the plot, but I'm not expecting, you know, frickin' Firefly. I just want characters that I can kind of understand, because that's kind of where the actors come in. Yeah. Even you have like a very energetic cast, and I think the Transformers movies, with the exception of Megan Fox, they always do have like good casts.
Yeah.
So and they're actors who can carry a character on their own.
Yeah.
So if they were to just, you know, do stuff, they could have developed characters.
The movies are filled with really small parts where they get actors to fill in just to like. It really just seems like they're trying to add these scenes just to make filler. It's like Bernie Mac. Third one had a million people. The second one had who's the guy from Super? The teacher.
Rainn Wilson.
Rainn Wilson is in Transformers 2. And it's like they have all these big names that come in this movie just to do these filler scenes.
And you can't even really consider them cameos.
They're not
like cameos. They're like fillers.